From the capital city of Charleston, West Virginia, this is Inside West Virginia Politics with Rick Johnson. Inside West Virginia Politics is brought to you by AARP West Virginia, your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State, and by Williamson Health and Wellness Center, working to open doors to broader health care in southern West Virginia and eastern Kentucky. Now, Inside West Virginia Politics.
Welcome to a special edition of Inside West Virginia Politics. The full program is a meet and greet with Michael Benson, the new president at West Virginia University. Recently, he spoke with our Amanda Barron.
West Virginia University now has its 27th president in Michael Benson, and he joins us now from Morgantown to talk more about how these first few weeks are going. President Benson, we are so honored to have you join us today. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
It's been short and sweet so far. Tell me how West Virginia is treating you.
Well, it's treating me just like I was told it would. People have been incredibly gracious and welcoming, and my family and I are honored to be here. It's a beautiful state with wonderful people, and we're very, very excited about this opportunity.
What attracted you to West Virginia University? What do you think the biggest positive is in Morgantown?
I think the biggest positive here is just the opportunity, the blue sky opportunities, as I call them, ahead of us. This is a R1 land grant institution with an academic medical center that every single day positively impacts the lives of every single West Virginian. You think about WVU Medicine, for example, and its healthcare system throughout the state, throughout 4 states, with its 25 hospitals. I mean, that's just one example. Think of the students that come here and have life-changing experiences and go out and make a difference in their respective communities. So I will always argue for the opportunities we have ahead of us and never focus on some of the challenges or our liabilities, because I see them as amazing chances to continue to get better and move the institution forward.
Let's talk about some of those opportunities, as you might call them. You know, last year, the last couple of years, there have been some restructuring, some reorganization, and some concern about a declining enrollment at WVU, and some programs were also taken off the radar. I want to ask you, first and foremost, how do you plan to make sure more students want to come to Morgantown?
Well, we have to do an even better job of promoting the institution in terms of our academic programs, but also our setting, the opportunities that are afforded to students beyond the classroom, our living conditions, our residence halls, the off-campus experiences that one can have, whether it's experiential learning or internships or volunteer. Just a few days ago, I was at our outdoor education center by Cooper's Rock, a beautiful facility where I met a bunch of our incoming freshmen that wanted to take advantage of all those outdoor activities that the state affords everybody who comes here. So it's a very kind of dog-eat-dog world when it comes to recruiting and trying to get students to come to campus. You know, we're going head-to-head with Ohio State and Penn State, Pitt, Virginia Tech, and we've got to have our A game to make sure we're telling students and their families that this is a great fit for them. I had a chance just the other day to meet with some prospective students and their families on campus, and I told them, look, this is an exciting time in your life. These are all seniors to be in high schools, and they were from Indiana and Maryland and Virginia and Pennsylvania and New York. I said, enjoy this time, you know, take advantage of the campus visits you're doing, but I can promise you, you come to West Virginia, you're going to have an ecosystem around you that's going to support you and help you be successful. I told the parents, look, we're not taking the tests. We're not going to write the papers for your student, but we're going to put him or her in a position to be successful and earn that degree and make a difference.
There were some difficult decisions made over the last couple of years to cut some programs, and I want to ask you what you think about that. Are you thinking about bringing any of those programs back online, and do you think any other cuts will be made?
Second part first, I don't anticipate more cuts. That's behind us, and we're moving forward. We always evaluate our degree offerings and what is in demand. And as you can appreciate, AI and all the advances in technology are changing today's workforce. So we have to be responsive. We have to make sure we're offering, whether it's online or in person or an amalgam of the two, degree offerings that will prepare our students for that ever-changing job market. So it's an ongoing, perpetual, never-ending discussion about our degree offerings and are we meeting those demands. So I don't want to say anything more than that, other than I can promise you we're going to be very responsive to what the workforce tells us and what employers need in terms of producing graduates who can do what? Think rationally and logically. They can get along with other people. They can communicate. They show up on time. All those things, those lessons that we hope we inculcate into our students here at WVU.
Growing up is a big part of college, obviously. The whole living on your own and making your way through the world in a different way. One of the ideas that you have mentioned over the last couple of weeks, you mentioned perhaps sophomores sticking around on campus, and I want to ask you about that. What do you see as the future of things like of housing and using maybe keeping students on campus a little bit longer as a retention strategy?
Well, you're exactly right. That's what it is. It's a retention strategy, and I will promise you we're looking at every possible option. So, some institutions, I have a degree from Notre Dame, and at Notre Dame, they require you to live on campus in the same residence hall for 3 years. Your fourth year, you have the option to move off campus, but you then look at the retention and the graduation rates at a place like that. So we haven't made any definitive decision, but we're looking at all those options that will continue to improve our students coming here, staying here, and then graduating. And I've told everybody on campus, that is not the purview of any one office. We are all recruiters, we're retainers, and we're graduators. And that's where we're focused on at the university.
That can be a touchy subject, and I think it's interesting that you are not shying away from anything that might be a little tough right off the bat. How do you handle challenges and disagreements and, maybe some of those tough questions? What's your strategy? What's your leadership style?
My leadership style is to hit it head on.
Okay.
Anytime you let an issue or a difficult discussion or a difficult decision fester, it's only going to get worse. And I have on my desk here behind me a little placard that was on the desk of my hero, Harry Truman. The buck stops here. So I can't put off a lot of decisions. I can't put off those difficult conversations. My style is to address it head on. Sometimes they'll be hard, and those things will have different kind of collateral impacts on other people. But I was hired as president to make decisions and to move the university forward, and that's what I intend to do. Are
successes yours and failures yours?
Absolutely. In fact, I know I learn a lot more from failures than I do successes. Mm-hmm. As they say, success has 1,000 fathers and failure is an orphan. But you have to still own it, and you can learn from it, and hopefully not make repeat that same mistake twice.
We'll have more with WVU President Michael Benson with Amanda Barron right after this.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here today, everyone. We are talking with WVU's 27th President, Michael T. Benson, and we're so glad that you're here. President Benson, you did have your first Board of Governors meeting, and you had an opportunity to get to know some of those members. Some are new, some are longtime members. How do you plan to approach your relationship with each one of these very unique individuals?
You're exactly right. They are unique, and they all come from unique backgrounds, whether it's medicine or business, entrepreneurship, farming, teaching, you name it. We have a board full of experts, subject matter experts in their respective fields. And I respect their wanting to serve and their volunteering to be away from their respective families and their areas of expertise and their jobs, and do it on behalf of a place they love. Many of them have gone to school here, some have not, but they all have this deep-seated emotional tie to the university, and I really respect that, and I'm going to take full advantage of their experiences and acumen, and on behalf of the university, make these decisions together that will move the university forward. So I'm really looking forward to getting to know all of them. We have some new members, and some of them I met through the interviewing process, but it's a very good board, very active, and very committed to the success of the university.
As I understand it, this is a larger Board of Governors than you're used to working with.
Yes, ma'am. I had 17 at Coastal, and I have 20 here, so it's getting, each stop's getting a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it is. So, there have been some headlines and some politics that have gone on. How do you navigate that from your standpoint?
Well, the internal board politics is what it is. I don't really involve myself with that. My job as president is to set an agenda, set a path forward, a strategic vision. The board has to support that. Our campus community needs to support as well. But in terms of the kind of internal discussions with the board, that's their business. my job is, yes, I report to them and I feel their support, and that means a great deal. And we're going to move forward.
How do you tap into each one of those individual backgrounds and make that connection with the university to best benefit the university? Because it truly is a diverse group of people who have opportunities not only for career advancement for young students and mentoring opportunities, but also for fundraising. You've set a lofty fundraising goal.
You're exactly right. I've told our foundation folks just as early as yesterday and this morning that we are going to, our standard is $300 million a year of private fundraising that we want to focus on. So you look at the support we get from the state, which we're very grateful for the tuition and fees that we collect, our auxiliary enterprises, some of our contract revenue, but the margin of excellence, really the thing that sets us apart, is our ability to go out and raise private dollars and to get those donors supportive of what we're trying to do. If it's a scholarship, if it's faculty support, if it's for athletics, it's for a capital project, and that can make all the difference. So I intend to be very involved in fundraising. We're in the midst of a very aggressive campaign. We're going to launch it publicly a year from now. That will be the biggest campaign we've ever done. And I'm very excited about that because that can really set us apart.
Yeah, and you're confident that it's a tough time to be fundraising. It's not, economic times are not easy. We see that as we listen to our legislature. And I want to know, I know you're getting to know those members of the legislature. And that's something you say that you also took pride in when you were at Coastal.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I've done it in every state where I've been, Utah, Kentucky, South Carolina, and now West Virginia. And every stop I've told people treating the legislature like a major donor is how we should approach it. And how do you treat a major donor? You treat them with respect, you're transparent, you're open, you steward them, you keep them apprised of how or what you've done with the investment that they've made in the institution, just like you do in an annual donor report. Look, you pledged this money to us for a scholarship, and this is how we spent it. We owe the legislature the exact same thing. So we're very grateful for the support we get from Charleston and from our local government. And I want to thank those officials for their continued support of WVU.
When we talk about money, we have to talk about athletics. Of course, you're embarking on your first WVU football season with Rich Rodriguez back at the helm. Talk about the changing landscape of college sports and how you're going to work to keep WVU competitive in this name, image, and likeness time that we're in. Students can go a lot of places. Athletes can go a lot of places and make a lot of money, and in some cases, perhaps more money than they would be able to in Morgantown. How do you compete?
You're exactly right. I'll say this first. I have really come to appreciate the grit and the kind of blue-collar work ethic of West Virginians, and the fact that the university, I would argue, we punch way above our weight class. We get a lot out of our programs and a lot out of our student athletes. Yes, we pour a lot into them. We give them the resources to be successful, but I'm so proud of our two recent national championships, both in rifle and our 3,000-meter runner, that both took home national titles. That's really something. And you're right, I can't wait for football season. I can't wait for that Pitt game in mid-September. And so much of what attention is drawn by the university is focused on athletics and athletic success. And is the biggest university in our state, in a state without a pro team, so many people kind of hinge their happiness on how we do on a Saturday afternoon. So I can't wait until football season kicks off, as they say, when toe hits leather here in just a few weeks, and go Nears.
Yes, sir. There's a lot there's a lot for you to experience. That's for sure. How do you keep it competitive, though? How do we make sure that the best student athletes want to wear blue and gold?
Well, first off, I tell every student athlete the chances of you playing professionally are not probably very high. Mm-hmm. Some of you may not play on Sundays. So our job first is to get you a degree, is to get you an education. And we're going to put you in a position to be successful. You're going to play for great coaches in wonderful venues in front of the most passionate fans in collegiate sports. And I've experienced it a few times already, but I can't wait to see it firsthand at football. So you're exactly right. There are a lot of options out there, and a student athlete has to pick the one that's right for him or her. But if you listen to Coach Rich Rod, he wants that athlete that is all about earned success and a hard edge. And we require a lot of them, and I can promise you we'll pay it back in spades, because if they come here, they'll get a great education and they'll play in front of very passionate fans and great venues.
Amanda Barron has more with Michael Benson when we come back. Welcome back. The conversation with Amanda Barron and Michael Benson continues.
So a couple of things about you. You've been a university president this is your 5th university president job, correct?
Right. Yes,
you are
ma'am.
a pianist. You are an author. You wakeboard. What else do we need to know about you?
Well, I came from I'm the youngest of 6 kids. Not a lot of means growing up. If we had any extra money, my mom spent it on piano lessons. We were all required to start on the piano, and then we could venture off to other instruments. So I have a sister that plays the cello, one that plays the flute, one that plays the viola. My brother played the tuba, but we all start on the piano. And music is a really important part of my life. So I was really inculcated in a young age with lessons about hard work, with the value that all work has value. Did a lot of manual labor jobs growing up. Really came to appreciate a home where we loved each other. There was a value on education. And as George Washington Carver said, start with where you are with what you have, and don't ever be satisfied. That was kind of our family's mantra. And it's led to some great opportunities for me. And I'm so grateful to my mom and dad, both of whom have passed on, that they gave us those chances that they never dreamed of. And my mom never finished college. She was from southern Alberta, Canada, a small farming community. But she made enormous sacrifices for us. And I'm eternally grateful to them. And I've tried to, pass that on to the students that I see every day, but also to my own children, all 5 of them.
I was going to say, you are also a dad. What is your best advice to parents who are sending their children off to school this fall, whether it be at WVU or any other university or learning institution?
Well, my wife and I are in the throes of that right now. We just sent our son out to Utah to play college soccer.
Oh, wow.
And it's going to be really hard on her. I'm going to miss Truman a lot too, but my wife and Truman have a really special bond. But parents, there's a phrase we used to use in loco parentis. In the absence of parents, the institution provides an environment where your son or daughter can be successful. So I'll say to those parents out there, we hope you'll entrust the future of your child with us. I can promise you they'll have a wonderful collegiate experience and get a great education and grow up. I know when they come back for Thanksgiving break or the holiday break, they're going to be different people. And as you mentioned at the top, college is, yes, about getting that degree and learning in the classroom, but think of all those lessons that happen outside the classroom, the ability to get along with others, time management, budget management, having a good time, take your classes seriously without being too serious. All of those lessons that you learn as a college student.
Yeah, absolutely. I think some of the most valuable lessons I learned were outside of the classroom in college. Your time in college, you were an athlete.
I was. And that, as I said, we require a lot of these student athletes, and that name on the front of the jersey is more important than the name on the back. But I learned some really valuable lessons of self-discipline, teamwork, respecting authority, making good decisions, accepting failure. And when you have failure, because we lost a lot of games, you learn from it, and you try and do your best the next time out.
And you've never stopped learning because you have several college degrees.
I do, and I had a chance to go to some great schools, whether it was Brigham Young, Oxford, Notre Dame, or Johns Hopkins. And I learned different things at each place, but I really learned that graduates of that place that call that place their alma mater, there's a special bond between that institution. So while I'll probably never be a graduate at WVU unless I go back to school, it doesn't mean I can't come to love it just as much as the alumni do, and I intend to do that.
Amanda Barron wraps up her conversation with WVU President Michael Benson right after this. Welcome back. Now more with President Michael Benson of WVU and Amanda Barron.
People will criticize your decisions. People will. You are perhaps, the most notable figure now in the state of West Virginia in this current time. And so I wonder, how do you deal with that pressure?
Well, it's a good question. My brother just passed a few weeks ago.
I know, I'm so sorry.
Cartoonist, and I take a lot of inspiration from his courage. You're not always going to be popular. I'm kind of the new shiny object in the state. I get that. But I hope people feel my sincerity and my desire to become a part of this state and its fabric, and to do the best I can. And I'm going to rely on people that know the state better than I for now, on those decisions that I have to make. I will never make a decision in vacuum. I'll solicit as much information and perspective as I possibly can, but I realize that decision will fall to me. And some of them won't be popular. I know that. But people, as they see me out and about, will realize that I'm approachable. Hopefully I'm transparent and I'm easy to talk to. And I love talking to people and hearing about their stories, and I intend to do that around West Virginia.
Our deepest condolences to you and your family about the loss of your brother. I know that was just right before you joined us here in West Virginia. And on a lighter note, I have to ask you, do you think you're really ready for the Pitt game?
Well, everyone keeps telling me I'm not, so I think I'm inclined to say probably not.
Okay.
So, you know, life is about surprises and serendipity, and so I can't wait.
Yeah, get yourself ready for that one. I mean, it is it's a time, that's for sure. You can feel it in the air. To quote a Phil Collins song, I think you can feel it in the air. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's a drum beat.
Ooh, very nice. You are a musician, so there you go.
Oh,
President Benson, thank you so much for your time. We certainly appreciate it, and we look forward to covering the work that you do at our state's flagship university over the next several years. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
And that'll do it for Inside West Virginia Politics this weekend. I'm Rick Johnson. Have a great week.